The blast actually happened like 2 minutes walk from my apartment. So this was pretty much empty. The streets were empty, but kind of cordoned off through a human chain. So I was pretty much at comfort taking the snaps because there was kind of a deafening silence when I walked onto the streets. However, I could hear the shootings later, possibly after 40 minutes after I was there on the scene and taking all the snaps. In a way, initially there was not much fear until the gunshots started firing again.
All right, you talk about there being an eerie silence and that almost a human cordon and not much fear. When was it then, after the initial explosions, that the panic set in, and what was it like being out on the streets with that sort of sense of fear in the air?
So what happened was I went to the scene after 5 to 10 minutes after I heard the second blast. So basically 15 minutes from the first grenade blasted from on the scene. Basically the terrorists were throwing grenades from top of the terrace of the building onto the gas station. There was initially not much panic, but more of a shock kind of a scenario. But then people realized that people were stuck in the building and they had to be evacuated. And that's when the panic started coming up, and people were anxious if all of them were going to come out safely. But I have to say that everybody was helping one another over there. The cops' strength, surprisingly, even after an hour's time, was pretty much less over there, possibly in single-digit numbers. But I guess they bootstrapped it later afterwards.
And Vinu, you work in IT, but as a citizen journalist, you were out there as history was unfolding in the midst of that panic, but behind a camera lens. I mean, did you feel detached from what was going on in the streets? How did you feel?
Initially, I felt okay, but as people started rushing up and everything, my hands started to shake a bit and heart was racing fast a bit. But I guess overall it was kind of fine.